What's up, Eurovision people? For the last time, my name is Sean, and on my channel, I talk about all things Eurovision. And there's no other way how we can kick off this live stream making final predictions other than with the intro.
What's up, Eurovision people? Do you love Eurovision as much as me? Reactions, live streams, discussions. This is the place to be. Come and subscribe. What are you waiting for? My content is free and honest. Come find me on Instagram. See you.
Yes, Ervin, you wondered, right? There is no other way how we can kick off a live stream if it's not with an intro. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the final night of Eurovision. Tonight we will know who will win this year's edition. We will know where we're going next year, most likely. And we will have a conclusion to this year's scenario. I'm gonna start off by letting you guys introduce yourselves. We will have Eston join us in the next few minutes, but until then, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
You just pointed at Sean, but all right.
Did I? Oh, Lee, you're up there. Well, hello, I'm Jude from Eurovision with Jude Kennedy. We are back for like 1 week of content, but very happy to be here on Sean's channel for some, predictions. I'm ready.
And I'm Ervin. I'm from Budapest. I'm happy to be back again. I think the last time I was here, we were still discussing the second semi-final prior to any of the shows. So yeah, it's good to catch up again now ahead of the final.
There we go, indeed.
And I love your bird in the background, Sean.
I don't, but at least one of us does. Well, it is the final tonight, and I want to kick it off by talking a little bit about the running order. What are your impressions about the running order that we got, Ervin?
Well, I think the running order is going to make the show quite dynamic, but I'm not overall happy with the start of the show, let's say, purely because it's, again, the same countries and the same type of entries going like one after the other, or performing in like the first 5 or 6 songs. So I think they could have actually just like looked at it a little bit more and like maybe did some changes there, but fine. I think it also gives us sort of an indication about like how the semifinal results might have gone. It doesn't mean that like they're going to go exactly the same way during the final as well, obviously. So I believe that like in the second semifinal, Finland definitely finished either first or second for being placed to perform number 13, as Erika, Vikman, as we all know, she drew to perform in the first half. And the one country that I believe took the other place, so again, either first or second, must have been Israel. And they were then placed again very early in the show, so they're going to perform fourth. And we also have like multiple heavy hitters again towards the end of the show, including Switzerland, Sweden, France, especially Sweden and France coming one after the other. So it's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah. Jude, what do you think?
Yeah, interestingly, I'm trying to get up the running order from 2024. If you remember, song number 4 last year was Luxembourg. Song number 5 was Israel. Song 4 was Luxembourg. 5 didn't exist. 6 was Israel. 7 was Lithuania. 8 was Spain. Where have I seen that before? I think it's interesting that. Yeah, interesting. And I think there's another one. I think part of the end of the show is copied from 2023. Like, do the producers have some kind of like, this is the, like, is there some like actual, I don't know, this is the way we do it? Because that's a bit strange to me. That
if it worked last year, why change it?
True. But the songs are different. It's the countries that are the same. Which
I know.
I was a bit like, huh, Interesting. I think, it's an interesting running order. I think the show progressively amps up until you get to like big middle, big climax, really. The start is going to be really welcoming you in. And then you have like 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Like it's overstimulation, but in a good way. So I think it's a good running order. I do think countries like Austria going so early are maybe going to be, squashed a little bit. But
Lorraine won from
exciting to
position
see.
9.
Well, exactly, but yeah,
How
we
many
did
Loreens do
Iceland
we have in
after.
the world?
Yeah,
Oh, to be fair, Lorraine would have won from running order position 2 as well. So
I guess.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this running order is actually okay. I'm not annoyed with it. I have to say, I think Finland got a great spot, and I was really, really hoping Finland would get a great spot. And I'm also pretty sure Austria was going to be fine in that running order position. I think France has a good spot as well. We've seen that last year France was the last ballad, and it really, really did well with the televote. And this year, France is also the last ballad with seemingly a chanson kind of song, and it will probably, it will get as many televotes as it could possibly get. I don't think the running order is going to affect the amount of televotes that France is going to get. I'm a little bit worried about Albania closing, to be honest, because in this system of having the televote open from the start of the show, I do worry whether the first songs are a little bit more advantaged, and people will be a little bit more impulsive to say that, okay, if I like the song, I'm just gonna vote for it, and then to have another song that they like at the end, are they gonna vote again? So I'm a little bit worried with Albania in that sense. Also, the last few closers in the last few years haven't performed very, very well in the end. Austria last year came second to last. United Kingdom the year before again. But I did say to Evan yesterday in Budapest, he said, usually when it's a song that's a little bit introspective, closing out the show, it tends to do well. And my references would be Estonia in 2022, that came 10th in the televote. France in 2017 also came top 10 in the televote, and Italy in 2018 came third with the televote. So maybe I'm not that worried as I was initially when I saw the running order. Lots of you guys talking to us in the live chat, and thank you. Keep asking us your questions. Keep talking to us on the live chat. And yeah, let's see. I knew Norway would open the show. Yeah, I think Norway. It was either Norway or San Marino for me, and they chose to leave San Marino more to the end. Yeah. Norway. I think Norway was pretty much one of the most obvious choices. And coming up just in time, we have Eston, all the way from Iceland with his epic Eurovision Guide channel. Good afternoon, Eston.
Good afternoon.
So, what's the vibe in Iceland? What are we thinking about the running order?
Well, the vibe is scorching hot. It hasn't been this warm in Iceland ever, basically. 2 days ago, there was the heat record of this time of year ever. And we're all just sweating here. So, good vibes.
Good vibes. You got a great running order, first vibe.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that Estonia is third. I'm not sure why is that. Either they didn't do that well in the semi, or that EBU is just trying to make sure this gets as few points as possible. Finland being in the first half for sure, probably doesn't help the winning chances, but still quite late. And with a good song, we've seen you can win from any spot. Sweden, France, both excellent spots. Austria, I think, is not in contention to win, not after their semi-final performance. So I think it might be between the two late countries there. And Sean, I'm sure you're happy with Albania being last.
I just talked about it, actually. I have mixed feelings, but I think Albania would be fine. I think actually Finland has a great running order spot. Kärja did win the televote from number 13 in 2023. So I think I'm really, really not annoyed about Finland being in number 13. I mean, it's the latest they could have possibly gotten a spot, and I think Finland would be fine. But let's divert a little bit from the running order, and I want to actually take a moment to ask anyone who's watching right now to subscribe to my channel. I cannot ask you guys to subscribe because we have so much more content coming up, but we will be having a live stream, one last live stream tomorrow, talking about the results, breaking down the results of the final and the semi-final. So why not subscribe for that? And you love Eurovision, so do we, and it's a match. So come and subscribe to my channel for the most honest content you can possibly get. And since it is the final and it is, the last day where any of us four will be relevant on YouTube, it is. I just want to say thank you to you guys and all of us who have been on these live streams. I have asked you to do plenty of live streams, and I have asked you guys for your guys' time. I don't pay them. I just ask them to be on these live streams if they want to. And
You're not paying us what?
We're not getting our money.
A buy.
Where's my check in the post? Come on.
I don't pay them.
I quit
They're
now.
always here. And
Leave.
I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for being here. Eurovision is what keeps us. Eurovision makes friendships, and Eurovision is what keeps us fans really, really excited during these months. So, coming to this close, I just want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you to all the people who have subscribed, to all of the people who watched, who commented. I am eternally grateful. I started this YouTube channel out of nothing, and it's still going on out of nothing. So I'm really, really grateful that we get to do this every year. Okay, speech is over. Let's talk a little bit about the jury. So last night we did have the jury show. Ervin, I think you watched that, right?
I did, yes.
You
Up until
watched the
about
jury
like
show.
1:30 in the morning.
Oh, so it was a long
And
show.
it was a long show indeed. And I have witnessed Denmark's fake victory.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I mean, their victory was already getting to the final, though, so it's double victory now.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit who we think is going to win the jury. So right now in the jury odds, it is Austria in the top with quite a convincing lead, followed by France and Switzerland. Now, Ervin, do you think Austria is going to win the jury vote?
I think it's a possibility, but then again, I have about like 5 possible jury winners, and I don't think that this year we are going to end up with having a runaway jury winner like we did in the last 2 years. I basically think it can be any of the 5 that we have right now on the screen. Actually, maybe the first 6 that we have on the screen, minus Sweden, because I doubt that Sweden is going to be winning the jury vote this year. We have quite a few ballots. Italy, France, Austria, Switzerland, but I think that the Netherlands might actually appeal to a lot of the jury members, and that they might just like sneak the jury victory or be like very close to it.
Okay. Jude, what do you think? Who do you think is going to take the jury?
I agree. I think it's that those top 6 in the jury odds are pretty accurate. But I don't think, as you said, there's not going to be a clear winner. I feel like we're going to get a lot of over 200s, a lot of close over 200s. What I'm hoping for is that every time a country comes up, the 12 points goes almost somewhere different. We're maybe rotating around those 5 countries rather than being like Switzerland, like it was last year. I'm excited for the fact that it will be more exciting, that we will be going and seeing more reactions from more people. Obviously, if there's some countries that are guaranteed to get a couple of 12 points along the way, like Greece, but I think we'll be seeing a lot of Austria, a lot of France, and a lot of Switzerland. And I would say those will be top 3 in the jury. But I don't think I could place any of them as in 1, 2, and 3. I think they're going to be close. That's what I'm feeling. And then I feel like a lot of jury points will be eaten up by those 3, and we'll see a big drop kind of somewhere within the top 10 to like hundreds of points from the juries, and lower. That's what I'm kind of guessing.
I mean, I'm hoping the jury will be really split, to be honest, because that will, like you said, Jude, that will keep things interesting. Last year, I think the jury, and the year before, was my toilet break. You know, seeing 12 after 12 after 12 for the same song. I've said it in the past, I think it's unnatural. I think some strings had to be pulled in multiple directions for all of those 12 to be going in the same direction. And people are seemingly, you know, interested to see this year's jury being a little bit more split. I'm never so hopeful about the jury, to be honest. I'm never going to be so hopeful that the jury is going to be objective and, you know, reward the people that they see as musical winners. However, I think France is going to win the jury, and I don't think it's going to be, you know, so close. But obviously Austria is a contender, the Netherlands is a contender, but I will say I think Finland has the potential to come at least top 4 in the jury. I do think that is a song, that music industry professionals should take into consideration when they are scoring their, you know, the songs on their little score sheets. And that could possibly... What?
Should being the keyword.
Should being the keyword, exactly. But no, I mean, it is a quality song. It is a musical arrangement that is pretty difficult, and it is not the easiest song to sing. And yeah, that could start a path for Finland to potentially win. This narrative is coming more from desire than prediction, I admit.
Higher desire.
However, I can see Finland doing at least the top 3 in the jury. Eston, what do you think?
Yeah, like I already mentioned before, I think Austria's stage show was not that great. Overly dramatic, not natural moves. The effects either came too late or didn't exist, and just it was all a big mess, a dark mess, and I think it massively lowered Austria's chances in the televote, especially, but also in the jury. I think France is now my #1 pick to win the jury vote. Also, Switzerland will get a lot of jury points. I think Sweden surely will be at least in the top 5. And I expect Netherlands to be in the top 5 or at very low 6s as well in the jury. Looking at the jury odds before, what stands out to me the most actually is Estonia being right ahead of Greece in the jury winner prediction. Like, what is that? It should be dead last or very near the bottom, because it's never in a million years winning the jury. It can be like top 10 in the jury if they like the whole package and the show and the humor, but it's never in a million years going to win. All the other songs have way better odds.
That's why I actually wanted to mention that, like, Greece might actually surprise us all, because after all, Claudia is one of the best singers in this year's entire competition. So I will not be at all surprised, like, if we see her in the top 5 with the juries.
Absolutely. Greek song addresses separation, so it will touch a significant amount of audience. I hope so.
Who will get it?
Well, it
only countries with subtitles.
It made the final. And I do think, you know, I mean, the staging actually does help to explain the narrative. And I do think, again, if juries should be objective, Claudia has the most consistent vocals of the competition, in my opinion. And the song is, you know, builds and has that dynamism that keeps you entertained, but at the same time, it's not musically, you know, devoid out of any musical credit. And I do think that this should be in the jury top 10. Again, if the juries are being objective and are being true to their brand as as music industry professionals. I have to pull up a super chat. I never got a super chat. Hello from Israel. Much love. Who is winning? Thank you, Maor's Sport.
Sean, you can pay us now.
Yes.
We can split this up. Thank you from Israel. Well, who's winning? That is the conversation we're trying to start up from here. We've discussed the jury vote, and we have John over here, who I met in Basel. Lovely to meet you, John. Good luck to everyone tonight. I can't see Italy or the Netherlands winning the jury, personally.
No, not
Yeah,
winning.
I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to win the jury, but I think they could be competitive, especially the Netherlands. And there will be quite a few Southern European countries who will give 12 points to Italy in the jury. We talked about Slovenia yesterday with Ervin. I could see Slovenia giving 12 to Italy in the jury.
Albania.
Yeah, Albania as well.
Mhm.
Switzerland will do very well with the juries. Won't shock me if they finish top 5. I think Switzerland is going to do very well with the juries, just not as well as we have been thinking they're going to do in the last, few weeks since we've seen rehearsals. I did say before that I think Switzerland could get Au Jardin, but I don't mean that they're going to come last. I just think they're not going to finish as high as they are in the odds. Maybe
It's a better song and it's a better performance. Sorry.
Maybe top 15. I can see Switzerland top 15. Yeah, well, that's pretty much it with the jury. Some people are talking about Greece here. Yeah, I would love to see Greece. I would love to see Greece doing well in the jury. France or Switzerland. Yeah, Armenia. How do you think Armenia is going to do in the jury?
Not good.
I mean, you never know with these juries. You never know with these juries.
not
But I
in
feel
the
like
top-
Armenia
in the
is
top
the sort of
15 in the
song that's
jury.
definitely outside of the top. Yeah, it's definitely out of the top 10 of almost every juror's
Oh, yeah.
scoreboard.
Yeah.
Which means
If any of the national juries have, let's say, rock musicians, they're going to place Lithuania and Armenia quite high because there's nothing else rocky in this entire competition. So they might get points here and there, but I doubt that either of these two are going to end up in the top 10 with the juries.
Absolutely.
I think the fact that Armenia is there is good enough. I was not expecting it.
I think jury might be kinder to Estonia. I don't think Estonia is going to finish in the bottom 6 in the jury. Because
No.
Because
But it's
people
never.
can't
I
escape
just said it's
35
never going to
points.
win. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
that it can't be top 10 in the jury.
Yeah.
I think Estonia is going to get a Kano score with the jury. Not bottom, but not top 10.
Yeah, somewhere
I
in the middle.
mentioned Kano and the eyes are rolling.
That's a touchy subject.
Hopefully Yuval will not be ignored. She deserves top 5 in the juries. I don't think Israel is going to get top 5 in the jury.
I don't either, but I think that she does deserve that. As in, she does deserve a top 5.
I mean, New Day Will Rise is a great song.
Mm-hmm.
New Day Will Rise is a great song. My mom will not stop talking about it. She will not stop playing it.
For me personally, hands down, the best song and performance in the second semifinal.
Yeah.
Really?
I might give that edge to Greece.
Not Finland. The flag that you're
I would
wearing.
have given it to Finland.
It's accidental, but no.
Okay, so jury's over, but tonight is all about the televote, and these are the current odds about who's winning the televote. Now, let's start with Jude, because Jude, you had a 10 out of 10 prediction for semifinal 2, so it's only fair I come to you first about who's gonna do
much
well
to my
in
downfall,
televote.
unfortunately. Yeah, Sweden landslide, I can see very clearly. And based on, last year, Israel will do very well. I don't think Estonia is going to be third. I can't see that for the televote. And obviously these are odds for the country to win the televote. So, I can't see Estonia coming third, though. I feel like it has support, it has an audience, but it's still niche enough that people aren't going to be picking up the phone to vote for it specifically, especially when you have the likes of, Finland coming up that people are going to be like, yes, or the likes of Ukraine coming up that people are still going to pick up the phone to vote for, and Fanta ballads. France, boom. Euro fans will be voting for Albania. I feel like Estonia is maybe slightly inflated in these. And yes, it's a great performance, but is it like they're in the televote? I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
Where
Also,
do you think
Malta
Estonia
11th.
will
No,
come?
I think Estonia in the televote will be like 6th. That's kind of
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
That's yeah. That's
well,
my
fair. We'll
prediction.
go to the Estonian guy. Where do you think Estonia will come in the televote, Mister?
I think top 5 for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if top 3, and I can see a slight chance for Estonia actually winning the televote. But of course, the running order doesn't help at all. Okay, we have the voting from the start, but I think top 5 is a pretty safe bet for Estonia in the televote, and top 10, lower top 10 overall.
Yeah, I think Estonia could go either way with the televote, because there will be a lot of people who couldn't escape espresso macchiato, who don't usually watch Eurovision so closely as we do. Maybe these people didn't even watch the semis. And I actually think the running order for Estonia is pretty good, because it comes after Norway 1, Luxembourg 2, two songs that, let's just put it out there, they're not going to come anywhere near the top 10 of either the juries and the televotes. And then you have Espresso Macchiato, which is where so many people are going to feel like the show has started. So I think the running order helps Estonia. Let's not forget that Ukraine came very early last year and they came third in the televote. And the Netherlands, before they got disqualified, they were at number 5 in the final, and they came second in semi-final too in the televote. And they would have probably been in the top 3 of the televote, maybe top 4 of the final. So I actually don't think the running order matters for Estonia, for the televote.
But then again, it's both very upbeat songs, both very polished performances. Luxembourg, I think, is excellent. So it could go either way. It could work in its favor, although I mostly disagree there. I think it's not in Estonia's favor at all.
Well, Ervan, what do you think?
I think there's a big difference between who performed that early last year and finished that high, as in Ukraine and Estonia. Because let's be honest, Ukraine is still going to get a lot of, I wouldn't call them pity votes, let's say supportive votes, just because it's Ukraine, regardless of the song. And that also, let's just be honest, last year's song was amazing from Ukraine. Yeah. But I think these additional votes only helped the song reach even more points than it did. Estonia doesn't have, let's say, this support. Estonia has to rely on the song and performance only. But what is good is that the song is catchy as hell. And even some other friends of mine who they're not that much into Eurovision, we just watched together the semifinals. And one of them actually mentioned to me today that like he was scrolling TikTok and Espresso Macchiato came on, and he just remembered that from the semifinal, and now he can't get rid of it from his head. So I think a lot of people are going to be like that. Also, even though like the voting is going to be open from the very beginning, I still think that a lot of people are going to vote closer to the end of the show, or when they actually announce that like the televoting is still open, etc. You can now watch the recap. Partly because they're going to be more drunk than at the beginning of the show, they're going to have more willingness to vote. And secondly, because they will want to, I don't know, see all of the songs, see all of the performances, and then think about, oh, I remember this one. I like this one. So I do think, pardon me, I do think that Estonia is going to do quite well. But at this point, I don't really think that Estonia is going to come in the top 3, maybe lower half of the top 5.
That's fair. Someone says here, no, not this one. I pulled up the wrong comment.
What does your bird say?
Mi amore. I think Balkans and Soviets will go with everything with Estonia and Tommy.
I doubt it. The Balkans especially. The Balkans are probably going to go either France, Italy, or actually San Marino might be.
The televote?
The televote, yes. I don't know, actually.
I am
Greece.
praying on all
Greece.
holy. that Greece and Albania get most of the televotes from the Balkans?
I do think that Greece is going to get a lot of support, and probably a lot from Serbia, because I saw that Željko Joksimovic, he filmed a message in both Serbian and in Greek, supporting the Greek entry and inviting people to vote for Greece. So I think that's going to have at least some sort of effect, but we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweden will win the televote for sure. I think Sweden could win the televote, but here's my problem with Sweden, with making the prediction that Sweden will win the televote. Before the semis, I have personally talked a lot about expectancy, and I do think that a lot of people vote according to what they expect from that country, given what they know about that country, and also given what that country has been giving, at Eurovision in the last 3 to 4 years. And where this argument plays a little bit against Sweden is that people are used to sleek pop songs from Sweden. And that is the reason why I expected Marcus and Martinus to do pretty well with the televote last year. And they did. They got more than 40 points. So I'm not sure, like, even if people like Bara, Bada, Bastu, I'm not sure how much they're going to vote for it, bearing in mind that that is probably not what they expect from Sweden. And mind you, the semi-final results have actually shown us that people do vote with expectancy. I mean, Portugal qualifying, I think even Iceland, casuals, what's the first thing they think of with Iceland?
It's not even that. Like, for Iceland, I'm just going to repeat what I said during the first live show that we did. Like, it is a very happy opener. There's nothing offensive about it. It's just like an energy bomb. And if you open the first semifinal with a song like that, it's always going to qualify. So, like I mentioned then as well, like, I had no doubts about Iceland qualifying whatsoever. And they're not going to do anywhere near as good in the final. I expect them to be like in the bottom 5, bottom 6, but they were always qualifying, and not because of any type of expectancy, just because like it was a bomb of positive energy.
Yeah, absolutely. 12 from Serbia, 12 for Albania, 12 from Cyprus, 12 from Montenegro, for Greece. I could see that happen. I could totally see that happen.
Yeah, I could almost see Greece sneaking. I mean, Greece will be left-hand side of the scoreboard.
Oh yeah,
easily. The jury's definitely.
Absolutely.
Like, Greece top 10 is a very strong possibility that I wouldn't be mad at.
And it's deserved.
Yeah.
It's
a
deserved.
really
That's
good
on
song.
quality.
And also, they knew what to do to upgrade it as well. The upgrade is really promising from Greece.
Yeah, and what I said in the prediction about Greece, I think they just showed the most boring 30 seconds and the most pointless 30 seconds of the whole show, because the entire show was actually really good. So in that sense, I take my prediction back from that, and the show is actually really good.
One thing though, can we have the dress change like a minute earlier? Obviously not going to happen, but like you get 2 seconds of the white dress.
Yeah, that was pointless.
Yeah,
I disagree. I think it was really effective.
Shot for drama. It is effective, but like it's a bit like dress change and cut. Like it's effective if you notice it, which you obviously do. But like it's like by the time you've processed, oh, that was a really clever dress change. Now she's wearing white. The show's already like we've moved on. Like we will be, or Parg will be on that screen by the time you think about the dress change.
Parg is probably the one unzipping it for her. I mean, he's already on stage by that time. So, but no, I think it's really effective. I think Greece actually, by the last minute, that camera work is really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
And
Parg is probably the rock behind or under her.
Yeah. I think it's really effective what Greece have done, and I think we've slept on Greece pretty much all season. And I really, really hope that they actually end up in the top 10 because they deserve it. They really, really deserve it. I'm looking at the comments here. We haven't talked so much about Austria. Where do you guys think Austria is going to place in the televote? Because we know Austria is probably going to come top 3 in the jury, but where do you see Austria coming in the televote? And Eston, you have said that the performance in the semi-final didn't connect with you, and I agree. I was really, really put off by the performance in the semi. So where do you think that's going to leave Austria in the televote?
it didn't connect with anyone that was in the same room with me, and everyone was like, "Yeah, what was that? Like that didn't make any sense, and it's just overly dramatic." And I think the public will have a very difficult time connecting with the song, and there will be much better songs and performances vocally and song wise coming much later on. I really don't see Austria coming anywhere near the top 5 in the televotes. Lower top 10 even. Maybe even outside the top 10. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. I think Austria, just wasted all their chances here.
I think the thing for me about Austria's stage show is that the stage show feels, and it is extremely like point to point to point to point to point choreographed.
Especially the light that he just quickly puts up. And
yeah, like Sweden's is choreographed, but it fits the song in the way that it's natural. It's more of a dance. It worked, but Austria's feels like JJ should be free on that stage. But every movement he does is calculated. And therefore, I think that's where the disconnect comes from for me. The thing is, his vocals are excellent. I really like the song. It is one of my absolute favorites this year. I just think it feels too rigid to be able, to connect to it. And there's one shot, no, maybe 2 shots in this show that really irk me. You know the final part where the boat looks like it's, like the camera work is done so the boat looks like it's rocking, and then there's one shot and it's further back and you see the entire stage, or like you see the entire boat on stage and it's static. No, change it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
The static
that it's
shots
like
just don't
in a couple
work.
of hours. That the one static shot of the boat is no, and then the one from above where it spins, the boat is still static. I need like I need that to make it seem. I also need JJ to open his mouth during the like techno bit, because it's like wasted as he's like and it's definitely an audio mix. I'm speaking so much, sorry, but the audio mixing has been so horrendous in the semis that I don't know if anyone else noticed it on their TV, but like pretty much every song, it carries some songs like Iceland, but for this you've got such a strong backing track, and then as soon as it got to that part, because they're technically backing vocals, then it was suddenly really quiet and you heard that he wasn't singing it live, whereas you could have maybe faked it with a little more work. But I think
the audio mixing is horrible. The vocals are way too low for a lot of the songs. You can't even hear them correctly, and like the production otherwise, I won't say anything bad, but the audio is horrific.
Yeah, I think many of the vocals actually seem washed out. Even with Greece, actually, she clearly has the most crystal clear vocals, and of course we can hear them, but it does sound so much less louder than the backing track. And I do think it's a missed opportunity for countries who are actually singing for singers who are actually singing really well. And shout out. They have to stop muting the audience. I mean, what is going on here? I wonder if
that's impacting the vocals, because if they're applying a post filter to the actual mic, then it's clearly doing something. Obviously, they're not. The audience mics are also turned off, but you miss out on being connected with the audience from your own TV. You just feel distant from it, which I don't like.
We have to talk a little bit about France in the televote, because I think France is winning the jury. But where do you think we can see France in the televote, Ervin?
I'm just going to go a little bit back. I love the comment of Tiago Soares that we all hate JJ because he's clearly winning and we're just tasteless. I don't hate JJ. None of us hate JJ whatsoever.
No.
But
none of us are tasteless.
None of us are tasteless. I do think that JJ is going to come towards the bottom of the top 10 in the public vote. So just like Elina Nechaeva, she had a very interesting performance. Her voice was absolutely amazing, and she still came only 9th in the televote. Regarding France, I think that like this kind of song from France always does well in the televote. And this is easily going to come top 5 in the televote again. And I think that like France's victory is going to depend a lot on how many points the jury is going to give it, and how much is she going to need to catch up to another song that would possibly be ahead of her in the jury vote. Luan gave an absolutely amazing performance. It looks stunning on screen. She sounds absolutely amazing. So I do think that like this is going to be a possible winner overall.
And for the first time, I'll be happy if France wins.
I wouldn't mind, like collectively, I would much rather see France win than Sweden and Austria. But usually the people who love these sorts of chansons, they do pick up the phone and vote for them. But I have to take Patricia here sometimes as an example, because she just says 2 words about Eurovision every year, and both of them are right. She was all about Voila. She was all about Slimane. And when she saw Luan, she told me, she literally just did this. Like, it didn't talk to her like the chansons usually talk to her. And she likes Luxembourg. So she also has a bit of a bias for the French songs. And
what about Switzerland?
No offense, but I don't see Luxembourg doing well in any of the votes.
No. Obviously not. But I'm just thinking that the people that, like, you know, we say Voila got an excellent televote score. Slimane did as well. I'm not sure if this song is going to talk to the same people in the same way as Slimane and Voila did. And part of me that says that as well is Voila and Mon Amour both had very, very simple staging that connected with the artist. I think France might have overcooked this a little bit with the sand work. It looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. I think it's a really, really good idea. I really like how she's playing with, it's not even sand, is it? It's rice. That's rice.
It's cork.
Yeah. Oh, it could be, yeah.
Shredded cork. Yeah.
It could be shredded cork, yeah. I just don't think France is going to connect with enough people in the televote. I mean, in the televote odds, France is 10th. And if they come somewhere along those lines, even if they win the jury, I don't think it's going to be enough to win the whole thing. Yeah, I think we've said it all about France, but let's talk a little bit about Albania, because there is probably, I think I've never seen so much unity in the fandom as with Albania this year. I mean, people seem to really, really want to see Zjerm win. I personally refuse to delude myself into thinking that Albania is going to win, even though that is my favorite song of 2025, and I would be elated to see Albania win Eurovision. But let's act like it's not going to win. I think Albania could get a very, very good televote score, 200, 250, and enough in the jury to push it 5th or 6th. Eston, what do you think about Albania?
Top 10 between 5th and 10th. Maybe like 6th to 7th place sounds reasonable for me. I think your numbers are quite accurate, so I can see them happen.
Jude?
I agree. I feel like 7th is the number that Albania, it just feels right, in the same way that France feels like 3rd is the correct number for it. This feels like it's number 7.
Can you tell us the whole way through, just 1, 2, 26?
So
name all the countries.
No, but France has always, I've said this for so long, France 3rd, and I don't know, Albania just feels like 7th, maybe 8th is where it's going to end up, and that's just from like a feeling, but also then informed by, you know, how much fandom loves it. I don't know how well the locals are gonna perceive and pick up the phone and vote for it. That's how many points have Albania got from the televote in the past when they've qualified? It's not been huge. Let me see. I don't have split results.
Their highest was probably
Just Albania.
Suf.
It's disappointing. Yeah,
And Suf came
exactly.
8th in the televote.
Yeah. What about Duya? Well,
Duya came
they
10th.
didn't do well at all.
Duya came 10th
Yeah.
in the televote, but it was like 59 points, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping a lot for Albania, obviously, because it is my favorite song. And yeah, I will be disappointed too if Albania is not in the top 5. But if we're top 10 with Albania, I think we would be happy. Let's see. Albania will claim a large part of the votes from that region thanks to the flavor. I agree. I think Albania and Greece are gonna run away with the Balkan vote. Even if, you know, Serbia will probably be the one that votes the least for Albania in that region.
Not at all.
But we can't forget Switzerland and Austria and the rest of the world as well. The Kosovars will pick up for Albania. And actually, in Kosovo, they speak a similar dialect to shkodra, which is the shkodra, the region from shkodra elektronike. So, you know, if we add things up, I can see Albania getting like 230 in the televote. Ervin disagrees.
I cannot. I genuinely cannot see
And
them
you
getting
like
more than
Albania.
I love the Albanian song, and I'm convinced that they're going to finish in the top 10. But I'm going to go 2 places lower than Jude does, so I'm going to predict like a 9th place, because I feel that if Albania gets about like 140 points from the televote, that's going to be amazing. They're going to get, I feel, points mostly from Eastern Europe, but I don't think that a regular viewer from anywhere in Western Europe would pick up their phone to vote for Albania, because they're just not going to get it. Fans would, because they're used to listening to this kind of music, and they like more like ethnic flavors, especially mixed with like a modern sound, etc. But I don't think that a regular viewer is going to think that like, oh, Albania, this is what I'm going to vote for. I don't see anyone, let's say, I don't know, in France or in Spain or in, let's say, Belgium or the UK, who's just a casual viewer picking their phones to vote for Albania.
But I mean, Ervin, just to argue with you a little bit, could it perhaps say the same thing about Shum? And Shum came 2nd in the televote.
Not really, because like that song was definitely bringing the party, let's say. It was also visually a lot more, what's the word? Appealing, let's say. And it brought something that was more universal. So that was always going to do well everywhere.
Who do you think will be the highest in the Balkans, Greece or Albania? I'm going to go out and say Albania overall.
Who is a regular viewer? A regular viewer is someone who doesn't actually follow Eurovision as much as fans do, but is actually just going to watch the show on the night because Saturday night entertainment and hear the songs for the first time.
Yeah. So Albania or Greece, do you think would do better?
Probably Albania.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Albania.
It could be close. I think it'll be close, though.
Yeah.
Like, both of them top 10.
Absolutely. Well, Tia Özgül, I'm guessing you are from Turkey. Let's talk about Finland. Where do you think Finland could come in the televote?
Well, like I said at the beginning, like I do think that Finland did amazingly in the televote in the second semifinal. So I'm pretty sure that Finland and Israel came first and second. Just the question is in like which order. And I do predict that Finland is going to come, let's say, in the top 7 in the televote.
Oh, wow.
Can be anywhere there.
So it could be first.
Maybe not necessarily first, but let's say again. All right, let's say from 3rd to 7th.
I mean, if Finland comes third in the televote and it comes third in the jury, that's a path for victory, no?
In theory, it could be, but in reality, I don't think that would happen. 2nd and 3rd, maybe, but 2 third places don't really make a winner.
I would narrow it down to 4th to 6th for Erika and Nutella.
I mean,
let's not forget that like a lot of Finnish people living, let's say, in Estonia, etc., might actually then prefer to vote for Sweden rather than for Finland.
Finnish
I think
people don't
Erika
let me
is
down
gonna
like this.
lose some votes over there.
Finnish people don't let me down like this. Come on now, you all know I've been advocating for Eurovision in Tampere for a very long time.
Yeah, but
You
Finns
cannot
are
be letting
rooting
me down
for
like this.
Sweden this year. It's clear.
Good thing Finns
I
can't
guess.
vote for themselves in Finland.
Something happened actually
The
last
rest of
night
the world
in the jury
looking
final.
on.
Something happened last night in the jury final when the Finnish spokesperson was about to reveal the Finnish votes. She mentioned that in this year's contest, you have 5 acts in the final who have Finnish people in their teams. So if any of them win, Finland is still going to take some credit for their victory.
So it's Estonia,
it's
Finland,
Finland.
Sweden.
I have no idea which the 5 are because like they haven't mentioned it. And I tried to find
Yeah, we
out,
know
but
the
apparently
3,
they have someone in Malta because someone said that in the chat. But
Sean?
I couldn't figure out which one is the 5th.
I'm not Finnish, and I'm not working for Malta.
Who are the songwriters?
No, I don't think so. No.
That could just be
It's-
misinformation. That's what someone mentioned in the chat, and I was surprised. I was like, Malta?
Yeah. I want to actually quickly touch up on Malta because because I have to. And someone here, Nila, says Malta and Italy will have Estonia above Sweden, I think. In the televote, yes. I think Malta
Italy
will
especially.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But let's talk a little bit about Malta. I am firmly in the boat thinking that Malta is actually going to do better in the jury than in the televote.
Because Malta does.
Yeah, because I don't think I think most of the hype with Malta in the televote has been from Eurovision fans. And it's true that the organic hype is going to help a lot, similar to what what happened with Estonia. But ultimately, I think Malta is going to get at most 70 points from the televote. And I could see Malta come top 10 in the jury. Maybe like 7th or 8th with the jury. And ultimately, I think
overall.
Yeah, I think we'll get a result similar to Michela. Or at a push, Ira Losko with Walk on Water, which would be between 10th and 15th. But yeah, I mean, Malta does better with the jury than the televote as usual. I think that's what's going to happen with Malta. Okay, we need to close this out by predicting who's going to win overall. These are the odds for the overall winner, and we've talked about who we think is going to win the jury. We've talked about who's going to win the televote, but overall, we could have a compromise winner, or we could have a winner that's going to win heavily. This year, maybe the televote more than the jury. And I'm going to start with Jude. Jude, if you had to place money on someone to win Eurovision 2025, who do you think it's going to be?
Sweden. No more words.
Tell us about
Sweden.
the path. So where do you see Sweden in the televote and in the jury?
Sweden are going to come, I think, minimum 6th with the jury. Minimum. Because no matter what about the song, those, at least the guys they have on stage singing, can sing. And with a song like that, which doesn't necessarily need the best vocals, at least they can sing. They perform well. It's fun. It's inviting. The juries are going to go, well, yeah, also the juries love Sweden. So, you know, there's a lot of paths forward for Finland, or not for, no, I wish, for Sweden doing well with the juries anyway. And then the fact that the public love them. Their song has been literally everywhere. I've heard it here in the UK on the radio, which doesn't happen. Like, we don't like Eurovision that much, but I've heard it a lot. People love it. It's going to storm the televote and bump it up, especially when the jury vote isn't going to be so concentrated on 1 or 2 songs. Then I think it clears the way for Sweden to get ahead.
I could see that happen. Eston, where are you at?
First, a quick comment to Doug. Estonia does have a Finnish songwriter. It's Johannes Naukarinen, who wrote Cha Cha Cha, among other GAJA songs, etc. So it does.
There are so many comments today. I can't keep up.
I think it is between France and Sweden, with maybe third favorite being Finland. Finland definitely being a compromise winner, and then France probably winning the jury, Sweden likely winning the televote. Which one is going to have a bigger gap and that country will win? I don't know which one it's going to be, but I might even start leaning towards France because I'm more confident that they will be definitely in the top 5 in the televote. And I'm not that confident of Sweden being top 5 in the jury. And I think the gap might be big enough there.
So France for US, though.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it either, but I think they have an excellent chance at the moment.
Okay. Ervin, where's the money going?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? I don't know. Honestly, right now, I would probably think somewhere between France, Sweden, and possibly the Netherlands. I don't really see anyone else. Yes. And all 3 of these would be, in my opinion, accidental winners, because none of these countries, and I don't think that anyone is going to win both from this year's contest. No. I'm pretty sure that Israel is either going to win the televote or is going to be points away from it again, like last year. But I don't see that many juries going for, going for Israel enough for them to be even like in contention of victory. Top 5 again, probably lower half, but victory I would probably rule out. And just because of the way that, like, I feel that the jury votes are not going to go towards 1 or 2 songs, they're going to go towards 3, 4, 5. Depends on like which of those 5 is going to score more with the public vote. That's the one that's going to end up winning. So this is why my way of thinking is France, Netherlands, and Sweden.
Interesting.
But I can't choose one.
We haven't talked a lot about the Netherlands. I think the Netherlands will not get a strong enough televote to win, to be honest. I think it will be a good televote, somewhere along the 80 to 90 points. But I don't think the Netherlands is going to win overall. I don't think Estonia is going to have a strong enough jury vote to win overall. I think Israel could potentially win the televote. And yeah, if it doesn't win, it will be points away from doing so, pretty much like last year. But I don't think the juries are going to let that happen with Israel. I don't believe France is going to get enough televotes to win either. I think France is going to win the jury quite convincingly. Maybe not with like 100-point difference, but could win with like 30 or 40 points. So that literally leaves me with Sweden, Austria, and Finland. And Austria has given itself a staging package that is very, very televote unfriendly. And I could see people connecting to the song, but not enough to vote for it when you have much more accessible and, performances that could connect with the viewers, like Sweden, Finland, Albania, Estonia. So for me, this is between Sweden and Finland. And funnily enough, I think none of them are going to win either segment. So for sure, I think we could get a compromise winner. Because I think, let's say France wins the jury and Israel wins the televote. The path for Sweden is if they come second in the televote, which they probably will, unless they win it. And then they come, I don't think Sweden's going to come low in the jury. I think they're going to come fourth at worst with the jury. And so that's Sweden's path. And, we have to remember Duncan Lawrence came second and third and won. And Jamala came second and she won. That's Sweden's path, and I think it could happen. Finland has to do well in the jury, and Erika gave a great performance last night in the jury vote, and I could see Finland convincing.
Erika went off key in the high notes again.
Juries don't vote for vocals, do they? Juries don't vote for vocals.
I mean, you can come up with any excuse for literally whatever you want.
Yeah.
If Finland does well enough in the jury vote and well enough in the televote, it could be a compromise win for Finland. But I will say this, like, if I didn't want Finland to, if I didn't like the Finnish song, and I would be purely making a prediction, I probably wouldn't be having Finland up there. So this prediction is a little bit affected by who I want. I'm keeping things honest. That's our branding here. Honesty is the best policy. But I have to say, if Finland wins Eurovision, carcades all over. I'm going to close this out with, who do you guys want to see win? Ervin. Or else, who will you be voting for? Who will you be voting for?
Oh, to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to vote for anyone. I'm just going to enjoy the show. Actually, no, sorry. I am going to vote for Lithuania because I have to keep my promise to Eston. So I am going to vote for them. I'm not going to vote for anyone else. I am going to be rooting for Sweden because they're my #1 favorites. And apart from them, I'm also going to be rooting for San Marino to come as high as possible because that was the song that I was the most happy about when they were announced as qualifiers. And that's going to be one of the 2 or 3 songs that I'm probably going to listen to on my Spotify for a really long time. So, yeah.
I have to quickly touch up on Poland because it was mentioned here. I think Poland's going to do well, especially with the televote. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The top 15.
I mean, what is doing well?
Justyna Steczkowska is quite well known, also among the Polish diaspora, and they made a huge thing about her being in Eurovision back again. So I do think that like a lot of Polish people in like across Europe are going to be watching and they're going to be voting for her, if for nothing else, just because it's her.
Eston, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, you said it's going to do well. What is doing well?
I think Poland could come top 15.
In the televote?
No, I think Poland could come top 10 in the televote.
Mm.
I mean, Blanka came top 10 in the televote. For fuck's sake, Justyna should...
You only need about like 60 points to come top 10 in the televote, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think Poland should do well in the televote. I wanted to say this, and I'm glad I remembered to say it. Juries, music industry professionals, singers, record label people, choreographers, vocal coaches. If there is a girl that deserves jury points, it is Justyna Steczkowska. My God, that choreography and that vocal performance and her hanging down the ropes. If you want to reward merit, if you want to reward vocal consistency, if you want to reward agility, and she's 52 years old, juries should be embarrassed if they put Poland anywhere near 22nd. And unfortunately, I see it happening.
Let's be honest, like all of that is very impressive, but at least for me, it's a very long 3 minutes when you listen to the song. It is impressive. She's absolutely amazing. I wish that I'm going to have like
officers,
all of her flexibility when I'm 52.
Officers, it's him.
But it is a long 3 minutes. Sorry. Love you, Poland.
Polish people, he's the one.
It's
Get your hand
the other side.
Yeah.
Eston, who are you going to be voting for?
Well, there's 3 countries that I have to vote for. Estonia, Iceland, and the UK. But then it becomes the question, like, who else? Or
the
do
UK?
I vote for anyone else? Obviously.
You might remember Monday, so...
Yes, and we have to support them here in Iceland. So probably I have to.
Where's the gun to your head?
No, but I want to. Like,
it's probably on the other side, on the other side of the laptop that we cannot see. So,
but probably Sweden or Finland should get some of my votes as well. But I will decide after the show and seeing everyone and their performance the final 3 minutes, so they can still get my vote then.
Jude, are we gonna vote for Germany?
Yep.
Please do.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Germany out of the bottom 5, please. Like, please. That is my one hope for the final, realistically, is that something happens to propel Germany forwards. And I think Bala is the best chance they've got. Not to do very well, but to do well enough to be received by the public in a positive light again. That's my hope. Also, I will probably also vote for Lithuania because the UK will be giving Lithuania points, and I want it to be more. Because they deserve it. Lithuania, top 10 incoming.
Okay.
I actually do think that
delusions.
Serbia is going to vote for Germany, at least with a couple of points in the televote. If for nothing else, because the Hungarian community in Serbia is very heavily, let's say, influenced to vote for Germany this year, because the siblings are Hungarian, and they're even like heavily promoted here in Hungary, to be honest, because like I keep just reading about them. And I read an article yesterday saying that like Hungarian has been heard in Eurovision this year because after the performance, Tina said köszönöm, like thank you, in Hungarian. So it's purely for that fact already, it's made the news in Hungary as well. So
plus they also did the Hungarian version of that song.
Yeah, they did.
And they're Austrian, so Austria points to Germany. You know, I see the vision.
I think Germany doesn't deserve to be in the top 5 this year. I mean, the vocal performance isn't good. The vocal performance isn't
horrible.
Good. But
it's one of the worst, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the
I mean,
song...
it's better, but still horrible.
To be fair, she sounded so much better last night in the jury show. Like that was her best performance yet. It still wasn't good, but it was the best so far.
But
so
I mean,
it's going for the better.
With Germany and Estonia this year, we're just talking about, yes, it's a big improvement, but it's still bad.
Yeah, the vocals aren't good, but I would like Germany, the fans, more than the delegation, to get a little bit of hope, because this is a song that actually casual German fans have gotten behind. I mean, you can see on the view count as well. It's so much more accessible to the Germans than anything they've sent in the last few years. So I really, really would like the German fans to get a little bit of hope, because this is a current song. It is. I think the staging works really, really well, and I wish the vocals were good. Yes, and it's another one of those chapters where if the artist isn't doing the pre-parties or pulls out of the pre-parties because they're sick, basically anyone who's sick at Eurovision can't sing. Because Sisal was sick and her vocal performance was never really affected. But, you know, anyone who's telling you that they're sick, we can buy you some lemons, we can buy you some ginger, and we can boil some water, but the odds are that your vocal performance is not going to be that great. Let's face it.
However, did you hear Tuna singing songs that were not Bala?
I have not.
I haven't heard her sing them live.
Have she sing them? Did she sing them live?
In the actual German selection, because they had to sing not their song and then their song. They had to sing not their song to actually qualify. And I think was it Skyfall she might have sang, and it was excellent.
You can sing Skyfall and you can't sing Bala.
That's a bit weird.
I think this song is too. Because Skyfall, she was just, you know, I think she was sitting down and just sang. I think this song doesn't work with her vocals from a live perspective, but does on a streaming perspective. You know,
agility training, girl. I'm going to be voting for Albania.
Doing that much on stage. She isn't running around on stage. She's just peeking and moving around a bit. She's not doing Justyna.
I'm going to be voting for Albania tonight, and I'm also going to be voting for Finland. Very shocking indeed. I don't know how many votes I'm going to you know, share for each, but I'm going to be voting for those two. One final question, because someone here is talking about Norway, and the question that I think of when I hear Norway, who do you guys think is going to finish last?
Denmark.
Well, it's not going to be Norway. I think the juries already will guarantee that, and the televote will go for it enough. So
So we got 1 vote for Denmark.
It might be Armenia.
Armenia?
It might be Armenia.
I don't think so.
A country with
juries
such
are
a
not
big
gonna vote for
diaspora
that.
can never come last.
Yeah, but I don't know. I love Armenia. I've never got this song. The performance is good.
I
but
love the song.
fair enough. I still, yeah,
I
Armenia
could
will
see
be bottom
Denmark
5.
coming last.
Yeah.
I could see Denmark coming last. But I have to say, after watching the performance,
I don't
if
want
La
Spain to
Noches
come
para
last.
mí came second to last, guys, where is
Listen,
Spain gonna finish?
if Spain come last, Rosa Lopez's result in Eurovision is no longer going to be the injusticia más grande que ha existido, but it's going to be Melody's results. Melody does not deserve to come last. I really, really hope she doesn't. She's one hell of a performer, but the song is just so beneath her. She's so much better than the song. I do hope that that her final result, as in like position-wise, is going to start with a 1, not with a 2. And if it does, they should be happy, as in like 10th to 19th. Eston, I see you're confused.
Yeah, I thought he's talking about the points.
No. I really hope that she finishes between like somewhere 11th and 19th and not 20th or under. But it's not looking good for Spain, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. I can only see Spain coming out of the bottom 5 if the jury picks up. But even when music industry professionals had to be music industry professionals with Blanca Paloma, she only came 9th.
That was a bad song.
I don't see a world.
No.
I don't see a world where Spain can come out of the bottom 5 literally unless the jury places in the top 15, and I just don't see it. And it's not because of. I actually like Melody. I love her song, pre-revamp and pre-staging. This staging with those marble explosions behind her and that horrible staircase.
What's that about?
Does absolutely nothing for her. The only thing I like is the dress. That's it. Eston, who do you think is coming last?
I wasn't even looking confused about what you were saying, Jörgen. I was just looking at the list of participants in the final and trying to come up with who the hell is coming last. I can see Iceland, unfortunately. I hope not, but it's a possibility. Spain, yeah, maybe, but also I don't think so. I still think Germany is doing quite poorly and might be a universe where this comes last. San Marino, I mean, they don't have a strong diaspora, and yes, the song is catchy, but will it get any votes between all the other songs? Might be in danger. Portugal, I think, is niche enough, and if it already qualified, it will pick up enough votes.
Who's that?
And I think Portugal's going to get jury points. Portugal.
Yeah, like Black Mamba style.
That was a good song.
I had the same feeling while watching it live. I didn't like it, but
I don't like it either. But
there is also Denmark,
there's so many songs.
There's too many options. Songs. Like even Latvia could technically, I think, come last. But
I think unfortunately Latvia will be bottom 5. I think Latvia will be bottom 5, and that's I would place Latvia like top 15, but I think it will be if people don't get that kind of song and that kind of performance, they're not good. Like I can't see many people voting for Latvia.
I mean, the jury should appreciate it, but they won't.
Yeah, exactly.
there are way too many options. And last year, who predicted Norway to come last? Very few people. So it might be a complete surprise as well. I think predicting the winner
could be Norway
this
again.
is much easier.
It could be Norway again.
Place.
I can see Norway coming last again, to be honest. I could genuinely see Norway coming last. I mean, I think the juries will be nicer to Norway than they usually have been. But let's say they're not.
How was Kyle at the
I
jury
think
show?
that I haven't seen Kyle. Like, I missed the first 3 songs completely because the EBU decided to start the stream late. So all I saw was the recap part, and that was all right.
It wouldn't be a live stream if this didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Norway is tired in the odds to come last. But you know who's first?
Who?
UK.
The United Kingdom.
But that's because the betting odds are basically UK odds. And the UK are like, nah, we're going to come last. Every year. I mean, I can also see it happening.
I think the UK is going to do well in the jury.
Yeah.
I think the UK is going to do well in the jury.
And it's at least getting points from Iceland. It's not going to be 0. That's for sure.
It's going to get votes from Iceland.
Might get some points from Ireland. Might.
Australia.
Yeah.
The jury, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we might get a surprise, like 8 or a 10 from Malta as well for the UK, because Malta Malta always loves to vote for the UK for God knows what reason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Lithuania potentially.
This year, the UK is getting no points from Malta, both in the jury and the televote, because people are still convinced that we can't say serving cunt because of the UK. So,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Forget it. UK, sorry, not this year. But we gave 0 to the UK last year as well. So
but you gave 12 to Joe and Jake.
Do you want me to talk about that? Listen,
I know. I think
guys. I think we've talked about the winners, the losers, and everyone in between. And the collective opinion on this live stream is that we want Finland to win Eurovision 2025, and everyone's mic will be muted now so that no one can say anything else.
And the only one wearing the Finnish T-shirt is shaking.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's
the one who's against it. Yeah.
Guys,
it's a Karia T-shirt. It's not an Erika T-shirt. Just to be clear.
And he will be singing
it's a Finnish
tonight
T-shirt.
with Baby Lasagna. So you will be putting that T-shirt to good use. Guys, I'm going to keep it locked
I put it in the washing machine before the show, so.
I'm going to keep it locked here. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. It's always my pleasure to sit here and talk about Eurovision, especially a few hours before the final. Thank you for all of you guys who have watched. We've broken records today with this live chat. Thank you for interacting with us, for asking your questions. Tonight, vote for the song that you want to see win Eurovision Song Contest 2025. And if that song is Albania or Finland, I'll send me the bill and I'll put in an extra few votes for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. to talk about the results. And I look forward to seeing which mood I'm going to be in talking about those results. But for now, enjoy the final. See you. Goodbye.